Let us discuss one of the most important application of Bose-Einstein statistics. That is the study of thermodynamics of black body radiation. We know what is a black body. Okay. Black body is a very hot body which emit all the frequency of radiation. Okay. അങ്ങനെയുള്ളൊരു ബ്ലാക്ക് ബോഡിനെയാണ് പറയുന്നത് അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ഐഡിയലിസ്റ്റിക് ബോഡിനെയാണ് പറയുന്നത് ബ്ലാക്ക് ബോഡി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. Now let us consider a black body, a cavity of volume V. Cavity means okay, a cavity of volume and at temperature T. So this is at equilibrium temperature T. Okay. So cavity is at equilibrium and temperature is T. Now we can see this cavity in we can have 2 point of view on this thing. One is this cavity can be considered as an assembly of harmonic oscillators. It's a collection of harmonic oscillators, large number of harmonic oscillators, and the energy of an oscillator is with energy ns plus half h cross omega s, where ns is equal to 0, 1, 2, and omega s is the angular frequency of the oscillator. ഒന്നുകിൽ ഇങ്ങനെ കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യാം, അല്ലാന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ this cavity can be considered as a gas of identical and indistinguishable quanta. Okay. So these harmonic oscillators are distinguishable because of their oscillation, it is distinguishable. So different frequency we can identify different frequencies. Okay. But okay. Now the first point of view was developed by or adopted by Max Planck in 1900. Okay. So he considered this thing as harmonic oscillator, the cavity as harmonic oscillator, collection of harmonic oscillators. The only difference is that he didn't use the this 0 point energy half h cross omega s. He has considered this thing as ns h cross omega s. So that is the difference. So if we use this thing half h cross omega s, it won't change the thermodynamics of the system much. So we can drop this thing here. Okay. So Planck considered the cavity as harmonic oscillators of energy ns h cross omega s. And since this is distinguishable, you can use this Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics. But the partition function, single oscillator partition function, if we treat by classically, if we treat it, then this will be equal to kt by h cross omega. We have considered, we have discussed in the previous, the third chapter. Kt by h cross omega is the single particle partition function. Okay. Because the energy are continuous. In classical physics, energy are continuous. But if we treat quantum mechanically, if we consider the quantum mechanical, this energy is not continuous energy. This is actually discrete energy. Therefore, Q1 is equal to, we got it in the third chapter, 2 sine h cross omega divided by kt. Okay, all raised to minus 1. This is the partition function of a oscillator. So we can find out the partition function of n particles or n oscillators. So this is equal to q1 raised to. Okay. So here this is discrete. We have considered energy as discrete. Here energy as. So that is the difference. So using this only, because we have used discrete energy, quantized energy. Therefore we have. We can consider the partition function like this. So if you know partition function, we can calculate the energy U equal to energy of the system U equal to kt square rho by dot T of log Q. Okay. So number of particles is n, then therefore we can consider the energy of an oscillator E equal to U by n. So this is found to be H cross omega divided by E raised to H cross omega by KT minus 1. So actually there is one half H cross omega term also will be there, but we have excluded it. Therefore the energy is H cross omega by E raised to H cross omega divided by KT minus 1 is that. Okay, so the expectation value of the energy of a Planck oscillator. Expectation value of energy of an oscillator. A Planck oscillator ES is equal to H cross omega divided by E raised to H cross omega divided by KT minus 1. Okay. Now the total number of modes. So now we know what is the energy of expectation value of the expectation value of energy of an oscillator. Now total there are how many oscillators? So how many number of modes? The number of modes, number of normal modes of number of modes of vibration in the cavity, which is equal to total number of the cavity is equal to 2 times V into 4 pi P square dP divided by H cube. Total number of microseconds. That's all. That's all. Okay. 2. This 2 comes because the transverse mode has 2 multiplicity. Horizontal mode also there is if it is transverse mode there is horizontal mode as well as vertical mode. Okay. This kind of vibration and this kind of vibration. So we can divide all this into 2 categories: horizontal and vertical. So that's why 2 we have to. So this is the well-known expression for the number of microstate in the physical or the number of phase pockets. We differ by P square dP by H cube between the. So this is the number of modes between P and P plus dP. Okay. So what is the number in terms of frequency between omega and omega plus d omega? What is that? So we want to change into P into of omega. So P is equal to H by lambda. Okay. The momentum is equal to H by lambda, or okay, so this is better. And H by lambda equal to C by mu. So H mu divided by C. Okay. So therefore we can write this thing as H omega by 2 pi times C. Okay. So if you substitute here, this is 8 pi 8 pi b. P square is H cross square omega square 2 pi square C square dP is H cross omega by H divided by 2 pi C d omega. So H by 2 pi C d omega divided by H cube. So this will become here 8 pi, here 2 pi whole cube is there, 2 pi cube is there. So 8 pi cube will become 8 so pi and pi square. So it will be pi and pi cube will get cancelled. Therefore V times omega square d omega divided by H cube. Sorry, H cube is cancelled. Pi square C cube. So this is the total number of normal modes. Now the number of normal modes, number of normal modes per unit volume, per unit volume of the cavity between the frequencies omega and omega plus omega. So total number of modes in the cavity between in the range omega and omega plus omega. So that is equal to, this is equal to per unit volume. So per unit volume is, so that number per V divided by V. So this will be equal to omega square d omega divided by pi square c cube. Okay. So c is the velocity of light. Velocity of light in vacuum. So that's it. So we know what is the total number of oscillators and what is the energy of an oscillator. So we will get the energy density. So the number of, this is the mode density and we have energy density. So energy density, therefore energy density in the range of frequency, omega and omega plus d omega is given by u of omega d omega. Okay. So energy density is the number density into energy. So that means omega square d omega divided by pi square c cube h cross omega e raised to h cross omega divided by kt minus 1. So this is equal to h cross omega cube d omega divided by e raised to h cross pi square c cube e raised to h cross omega divided by kt minus 1. So this is the energy density in this range. So we can calculate the total energy density of the cavity by integrating from 0 to infinity. So integrating from omega equal to 0 to omega equal to infinity. Okay. So this is the first point of view on the black body radiation. Next is the second point of view. So the second point of view is adopted by Bose and Einstein. Okay, let us so Bose and Einstein. So Bose in 1924. Okay, Einstein in 1924 and 25. Okay, so first Bose consideration. So the second point of view. Second point of view was the cavity can be considered as a gas of indistinguishable quanta, identical indistinguishable quanta. This is here it is not distinguishable, it is indistinguishable. Okay. So Bose investigated the problem of the distribution of photons over various energy levels. P photons various energy level distributed investigated. But instead of worrying about allocation of various photons to the various energy levels, he concentrated on the statistics of the energy levels themselves. He concentrated on the statistics of the energy levels. Okay. So he examined the questions such as probability of the energy level being occupied by ns photons. So what is the probability of an energy level occupied with some particular number of photons? Okay. And he again considered the mean value of ns and es. The mean value of the ns, mean value, that is the occupation number, is given by summation ns e raised to minus ns h cross omega s, because we have ns, so ns is equal to 0 to s equal to 0 to infinity divided by summation e raised to minus ns h cross omega s divided by kt. So this ns e raised to minus beta is ns e raised to minus beta is divided by summation e raised to minus beta is. So this is the mean occupation number. Okay. So we have used here ns h cross omega as the energy of, and this is equal to, this can be considered as, so here you can substitute the values of ns. So this is equal to, first term will be in this numerator, first term will be 0 because ns is equal to 0. Second term will be e raised to, so 1 e raised to minus h cross omega s divided by kt, plus next term will be 2 e raised to minus h cross omega s divided by kt, plus 3 e raised to minus 3 h cross omega divided by kt. Okay. Plus etc. divided by, first term will be in this n is equal to 0 to infinity. So first term will be e raised to 0, that is 1. 1 plus e raised to minus h cos omega by kt plus e raised to minus 2 h cos omega divided by kt, etc. Okay. So this is actually, this can be written as, the first one can be written as e raised to, so let me put this h cross omega divided by kt as x. Okay. Or e raised to minus h cross omega by kt as x. So this can be written as, where x is less than 1. Okay. So this can be written as x into 1 plus 2x plus 3x square plus 4x cube etc. divided by 1 plus x square plus x cube etc. Okay. So this is equal to x. This term on the numerator is 1 by 1 minus x whole square. 1 divided by 1 minus x whole square divided by, this is a geometric progression. Its value is 1 plus 1. So this is a geometric progression when x is less than 1. Here also x is less than 1. 1 by 1 minus x whole square. So when x is less than 1, this will be 1 divided by 1 minus x. Okay. So this is 1 divided by 1 minus x. So therefore, you can write this thing as e raised to minus h cos omega divided by kt into 1 by 1 minus x square, 1 by 1 minus x. So this will be 1 by 1 minus e raised to minus h cross omega divided by kt. So this is the, so therefore we can write ns average, that is the mean occupation number is this. So if we divide with e raised to minus h cross omega by kt, both numerator and denominator will get 1 divided by e raised to h cross omega divided by kt minus 1. Okay, so this is the mean occupation number. Therefore, the energy of mean energy of a, the mean value of energy of a oscillator. So energy level is equal to energy of an oscillator is h cross omega s, or sorry, energy of the photon is h cross omega divided by the occupation. So the occupation number is e raised to h cross omega divided by kt. So this is the average energy of a level. So this is exactly identical to the expression we have derived in the case of Planck consideration. Both are same. So here we have considered it as gas of photons. So the total number of photons with the momentum lying between p and p plus dp. Okay. So therefore we can write this thing as, what is momentum of a photon? P is equal to h cross omega by c. Okay. And therefore you can write the total number of points in the phase space. That's V of omega d omega is equal to, here also we have to multiply with 2 because the multiplicity of the transverse mode, okay, horizontal and vertical polarization. 2 times V 4 pi p square. 4 pi p square is h cross omega by c whole square dp. So h cross by c d omega. 4 pi p square by 4 pi p square dp by h cube. So this is the total number of total number of photons. So energy of a level is given by this thing. So the number of photons in the cavity is in the range of frequency omega and omega plus d. So from this you will get this is equal to omega square d omega divided by, so 4 pi 8 pi. So this is the total number of photons. So therefore we get the Planck distribution formula, the same Planck distribution formula here also. So that is u of omega d omega. So this is the, so here v is the, so total number. Okay. So per unit volume, number per unit volume is d omega, u of omega d omega divided by v is equal to, so we have to then remove this thing. So this is the thing. So therefore u of omega d omega is equal to h cross omega divided by e raised to h cross omega by kt minus 1 into total number of photons omega square d omega divided by pi square c cube. This is equal to h cross omega cube d omega divided by pi square c cube e raised to h cross omega divided by kt minus 1. Okay. So we can change it to our formula. So you may know this thing. So u of mu d nu. So this is equal to, so we have derived, if you substitute omega as 2 pi nu, so we'll get in terms of, and h, so here h cross is there, sorry, h cross omega cube. So h cross omega cube d omega, pi square c cube e raised to h cross omega by kt minus 1. So and h cross is equal to h by 2 pi. If you substitute this, you will get expression in terms of nu. So you would have studied in your degree classes that this is equal to 8 pi h nu cube divided by c cube 1 divided by e raised to h nu divided by kt minus 1. Okay. Into d omega. So so this is u of nu is the energy density in the range of omega, sorry, nu and nu plus d nu is 8 pi. So same expression we got. So in both the case, in Planck's conservation and Gauss conservation. So this is the energy density u of omega d omega. Einstein, on the other hand, considered both photons and energy levels together. Okay, not only energy level, Gauss had considered only energy levels. He considered the statistics of energy levels, but Einstein considered both the statistics of photons as well as energy levels together. Okay. So he inferred that the basic fact to keep in mind during the process of distributing photons over various energy levels is that the photons are indistinguishable. Photons are indistinguishable. So we have to keep in mind that photons are indistinguishable. Okay. But in Gauss conservation also it is indirectly considered. Okay. We used grand canonical partition function. The value of z is equal to 1. That is the number of particle, the total number of particle is no longer constant. Okay. It can have any indefinite value of n. So there is no constraint of fixed number of particles. So therefore chemical potential is 0. So you can have any number of particles. So there is no energy required to remove a particle. So mu is equal to 0. Therefore mu is equal to 0, then z is equal to 1. So if we calculate that like that, the mean number of particles in an energy level is given by 1 divided by z raised to minus 1, 1 divided by z raised to minus 1 e raised to e divided by kt minus 1. So this is for Bose-Einstein particles. So 1 divided by, when mu is equal to 0, z is equal to 1, therefore e raised to e divided by kt minus 1. Okay. This is equal to 1 divided by e raised to h cross omega divided by kt minus 1. This is exactly same as that in the case of Planck and Bose considerations. So the number of total energy of the, so the energy density calculation is same as that in the previous. Now we can draw this graph. Now we can draw the graph of u of omega d omega. So what is u of omega d omega? Is equal to h cross omega cube d omega divided by y square c cube e raised to h cross omega divided by kt minus 1. Okay. You can plot the graph of. For that, you can make this omega h cross omega by kt. Put h cross omega by kt is equal to x. Therefore, what is d omega? Omega is equal to kt by h cross x. D omega is equal to kt by t divided by h cross x. So substituting these values in this equation, you get u of x dx is equal to h cross omega cube is kt by h cross cube into d omega. So this kt for u of x is equal to u of x dx is equal to, so here x is equal to h cross omega divided by this dimension. Okay. Therefore, you can write this thing as, plot the graph, we can make this term, this factor into the side. You can write kt pi square h cross cube c cube divided by k raised to 4 t raised to 4 u of x dx is equal to x cube dx divided by e raised to x minus 1. So this is just to plot the graph. Okay, this can be written as u dash of x dx. So now we have energy density in the dimensional form, that is u dash of x dx is equal to x cube dx divided by e raised to x minus 1. Okay. For x is equal to h cross omega divided by kt. Okay. So when if x is very much less than 1, the short value of x, that means frequency, low frequency. Okay, that means large wavelength. In short frequency, what happens? So the function will form x cube divided by e raised to x minus 1 become x cube divided by, it's e raised to x. E raised to x is 1 plus x square by 2 factorial plus x cube by 3 factorial plus etc. Okay, e raised to x minus 1 is. So this become, if x is small, the higher order x square x cube terms will be very small, so we can neglect it. So the denominator is 1 plus x minus 1, so that will be x cube by x is x square. Okay. So u dash of x is equal to x square. Okay, or u dash of x dx is equal to x square dx. So this is called Rayleigh-Jeans formula or Rayleigh-Jeans law. Okay. And the next case is we can plot the graph. Okay, for that we can next is if so for large wavelength for very low frequency this is okay x square. This can be written as u dash of x equal to x square. So if x is very much less greater than 1, so that means high frequency but short wavelength. Short wavelength. Short wavelength. At that time, what happens? So e raised to x cube divided by e raised to x minus 1 is equal to, then x is very large, e raised to x is very large. So e raised to x minus 1 will be approximately equal to, this is approximately equal to x cube e raised to minus x. So e raised to, so in the denominator e raised to x minus 1 will become e raised to x. So it is equal to x cube e raised to minus x. Okay. So therefore u dash of x dx is equal to x cube e raised to minus x. E raised to minus x dx. So this is called the short wave approximation of V. So this is called Wien's law. So we have Planck's formula. So that is a general expression for this thing, the Planck body radiation. Sorry, black body radiation x cube dx e raised to x minus 1. So we can plot all the three laws. Okay. So the x-axis, we take x, it is h cross omega by kt. The y-axis u dash of x, the dimensional quantity u dash of x dx is equal to the dimensionless quantity x and this corresponding u dash of x dx. So the Planck's formula we can plot like that, x cube divided by e raised to x minus 1. So this is the graph on the Planck's formula. Next is the Planck's. Then u dash of x is equal to this. Is equal to x square. X square for x is very much less than 1. So okay. So this graph is for x square. This is called Rayleigh Jeans formula. Jeans law. Okay. This is Planck's law. And there is one more thing. This can be at x is very large, then this can be approximated as x cube e raised to minus x. Okay. So this is called Wien's law. Okay, this is Rayleigh-Jeans law. So Wien's law, if we plot, it will be like this. So in the Planck's law, the denominator is slightly less compared to the Wien's law. Therefore, the value of the quantity will be slightly greater at the value of x. At high x, this expression can be approximated to. This is coinciding with the Planck's formula. Okay. So this formula, this is called Planck's law. So in all the three cases, the graph is collapsing. So at a high frequency, the Planck's law and Wien's law are in agreement. Okay. At low frequency also, at low frequency what happens? Low frequency, the Rayleigh Jeans formula is in agreement with the Planck's formula, with the Planck's law. But the frequency, if frequency is larger, then the Rayleigh Jeans formula is catastrophically deviates from the actual black body radiation. So this is called a high frequency catastrophe. So this is called a high frequency catastrophe. Okay, so that means at a high frequency, the Rayleigh Jeans formula so catastrophically deviates away from the okay. It is going up. Okay, it is going to infinity. But actual curve is like this. This is the black body radiation. So as the frequency increases, the intensity, that means the density of the energy density is like this. Okay. When X is large, the energy density should decrease actually, but it is catastrophically very high. Okay. So this is about the black body radiation. So we'll discuss in the next class.